Okay, so to do a really quick backup on this, here's what we know. We know that this cost is proportional to peppers. And the reason why we know this is because this is a straight line. It's a straight line. It goes through 0, 0. Oh, straight line. So it means it has a constant. And it goes through 0, 0. Okay, those two things have to occur to have a proportional relationship. Next, the question asks, how much will 1 pound of peppers be? So I go to 1 and I go up to where it crosses the line at, then I go over to the cost and I find out that this is my cost, $3. That right there identifies the constant, which is the unit rate. So now to find out how much 3.5 pounds of peppers would be, I could set up a proportion to figure that out. So 1 times 3.5 is 3.5. So 3 times 3.5 is 10.5. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the skinny on that. And you can look at this right here. Also, guess what? You can actually model this as an equation, right? Because remember what we talked about yesterday, that the number in front of this variable is always the constant. And the constant is when you have 1 as the denominator like this. So we found the constant. So we could use this too as our equation. So right now, guess what? We've just shown you that you can use an equation to show proportional relationship and a graph. All right, let's dig in deeper. Here we go. Turn in your math books to page 68. Yes, I know we're kind of bouncing around, but when I went through this lesson, there was quite a few things that I knew we could skip over so that we could get through this. All right, so let's take a quick peek at this problem right here. We're going to do 8 together. All right, so Alejandro babysits in the evenings. He makes a graph to show the money he earns. How much money does Alejandro earn for each hour of babysitting? And how do we know this? Well, first of all, okay, even before we start this, I know we're just interpreting graphs, but I want to push you to understand this. My question to you is this. Does this graph show a proportional relationship between time and money? So yes, good job, you guys. We know that these are proportional because it is a straight line. That means it has a constant. And it goes through 0, 0. Okay, cool. So now the next question is, how much money does Alejandro earn for each hour of babysitting? In order to figure that out, we are going to use this graph to find, so we're going to use this graph to find the unit rate. And to do that, we are looking for when time equals 1. So here is 1 right here. Here's 1. So if I go up on 1, I can go over to the money, and there is my unit rate. So I know that he earns $15 every 1 hour. And how do I know that? Because if you look at this graph, that's what happens. Every hour, every 1 hour, it goes up $15. So every hour, okay, he went up 30. The next one is 32, right? Or 230, right? This one right here was 115, right? So every hour, he gained $15 more. So the constant is 15. Okay. All right. Okay, next question. Indira makes a graph to show how many pages of her graphic novel she can illustrate each day. What is the constant of proportionality for the relationship between the pages and the days? And then we're going to write out an equation for this. All right. Okay, sorry, I got a little glitchy right there. So in order to find the constant of proportionality, we need to find out where 1 is for days. Because remember, all constants like unit rates have to have a denominator of 1. So that means we're going to go here on the x-axis to find 1. Now, if we go up to 1, we go up to this point right here. Oh no, this is interesting, isn't it? Because unfortunately, that doesn't tell us what the number is. So what you might have to do is you might have to look for one of the things that are given, like look at this. All right, so this is right there. Okay, all right, so we have, that is a prime, that is where the two things intercept each other. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today. Holy cow. So if you look at this right here, hey, we are going to go pages over days, right? So if we go pages over days, we would have 3 over 4. And if we divide 3 divided by 4, that becomes 0.75 or 3/4 to 1. So this one right here, if we go right here, we found that this right here is 3/4. So our constant is 3/4. So now to write out our equation, all right, all we're going to do is we're going to take and write it out. So our pages equal 3/4, because remember, constants always go in front of this, times the day. All right, so there's our equation. Now, just to let you guys know, sometimes you won't see that they put this in, these two, they will use y and x. So y for the y value and x for the x axis, okay? All right, next problem. Elma's little sister wants box braids. They complain that Elma braids too slowly. So she makes a graph to show them how fast she actually really is. All right, so if you look at this, here's her graph. So this is heads of hair here, all right? And then this is hours on this side. So it looks like this right here means that she can do 1.5 heads of hair in 5.25 of an hour, right? She also has 0, 0 on here. So the first question that we have is, what does 0, 0, what does that point on this graph represent? All right, so what we found out is that 0, 0 means she does no heads of hair. That just comes out weird. Heads of hair in 0 hours. Okay? All right, that's what that means. Okay? Because here's the thing, I know we've been talking about, how do you know it's proportional? Well, go through 0, 0 and it's a straight line. But when you're talking about these kind of problems, hey, we're talking about quantities, and quantities are time and money, heads of hair and time. So we got to start looking at this information about having a proportional relationship about the two quantities. All right, now what does the point 1.5 and 5.25 mean? It means she can braid 1.5 heads of hair in 5.25 hours. Okay, so that is what that means. All right, cool. Good job. All right, I want to take a look at one more thing before I cut you guys loose for your homework. Okay, all right. So I want you guys to turn really quick to page 71. Okay, page 71. Okay, so Josephine uses a graph to compare the cost of renting a car at 2 different companies. Is the relationship between cost and time proportional at either company? How do you know? So let's take a look at company B. All right, company B must be this line right here. Here's company B. All right, then we have company A. Here's company A. Whoops, got a little crazy there. So we want to find out which company has a proportional relationship. Okay, which company has a proportional relationship? Do both of them, or one of them, or none of them? So, winner, winner, chicken dinner. If you said company A is proportional, you are correct. All right, so company A is the only one that is proportional. Okay, so remember what we just discussed. All right, first of all, in order to prove that 2 quantities are proportional, it has to be a straight line, which means that there's a constant. All right, so if you look at this, both of these are straight lines. So right now, both of them are proportional. But the second thing that has to happen is the line has to cross at 0, 0. Okay? And if you look at company B crosses the y-axis at 0, 8. Now, let me explain to you what it is. So company A is proportional, which means this, and this is how you would need to explain it. Okay? So the graph, renting a car. So if this company right here charges $0 for 0 hours. Okay, company A charges $0 for not renting the car at all. Then if we look at company A, it looks like this, remember we talked about to find the unit rate, the constant, we go where 1 is. So here's 1 and it goes over to 8. Then it looks like then they charge $8 every hour. Okay, $8 every hour. And let's just double check that's right. So at 2 hours, it's 16. Yeah, 3 hours, it's 24. So that is, so 8 to 1, 16 to 2, 24 to 3. So these are all 8. Okay. Company B. Well, company B, darn it, is not proportional. And here's why. Okay, they charged probably just for going into them, all right, without even renting it, they charge $8 for no time at all. Okay, and some places do that, right? But it just means they're not proportional. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, but I will say, if you look at this, okay, these must go by 8, so 4. And then after that, they do charge, let's see, so hold on, sorry, 1 is 8, so that's, and then they charge $4 for each hour. So it does meet, company B does meet the constant. It does meet the constant, but it is not proportional because of this right here. Okay, it has to be 0, 0. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. We're going to dig into this a lot more on Monday. So we're going to dig into this on Monday because we are going to learn how you can look at a graph, a table, an equation to see if things are proportional. Your homework assignment for tonight, for today, because there's no reason you shouldn't be able to finish it, is page 69 through 70, 1 through 5 all. So your homework is page 69 to 70, 1 through 5 all.